This is Metropole TV. This is Business AM. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. We are at the tail end of our show this morning, and so that means it's back to that time where we tell you exactly what is trending in other sectors within the economy and other industries as well. Just remember, you can actually be a part of this conversation by using your SMS lines on your screen. That is a 2146. This morning, I just want us to talk about something that you are not going to avoid. We're talking about social media privacy, and exactly how you can be safe online while using this social media. Now, one of the biggest ways for small businesses and brands to actually get themselves outside there is through social media. Now, leveraging on social media has introduced new currencies, has introduced new markets, has also introduced new ways of doing businesses that now individuals have to learn how to protect themselves from the various exposures just by being on these platforms. This morning, I am joined by a social media consultant. His name, Daniel Maithya, who's going to tell us exactly what you need to do so that you're safe as a business and as a brand on all your social media platforms. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here's the thing. We cannot avoid social media at present. In our businesses,
Exactly.
in our brands, we need to use it. But then at the end of the day, we expose ourselves to the dangers of being online. So for somebody listening to you outside there, what would be the biggest danger that being on social media as a brand, as a personality, and as a business that you expose yourself to?
First, as a personality, personal information. There are business, there are companies which go online on social media platforms to harvest personal data.
Yes.
For their own use,
Yes.
and basically to market their products to you. There's something we call retarget marketing. So if there are websites, there are companies which will go online and learn your activities when you log into your social media platforms.
Yes.
What do you search mostly on day-to-day business, day-to-day basis? Do you go to search for business news? Do you go to search for products? Maybe it's hair, maybe it's sofa, maybe it's the trending news, or maybe job opportunities. So people want to know what you search on daily basis. Then they use that information to market to you. Some companies go to an extent of checking on your age, to use the age, the demographics, to market to you as an individual. So if you put maybe your age, you put your correct age, you put maybe your location, your actual location, when you're browsing your Facebook, your Twitter, you having your location turned on, the companies are able to know where you're browsing from.
Yes.
If you're browsing from Ruiru, they'll be able to categorize that data and be able to sell it, or else maybe use it for their personal use to market to you. And social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter, they've been on spotlight for making use of not ensuring key privacy of their users, the social media users.
Yes.
They've not put enough measures to protect personal data, because they themselves should not even be able to access your personal data. You see?
Isn't it? It starts from there that even these companies themselves should not be able to access your data.
Exactly.
That's where it begins from, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I want to talk to you about data mining, which everybody is actually talking about right now in this century. That for you to sell your products, you gotta have that data. For you to know what a business is into, you gotta have that data. So how do I now, as a person and as a business, ensure that these people who are into data analytics and data mining are actually not going to find exactly what I search for?
Let me give an example of emails.
Yes.
I have my company email, and I usually get so many emails of offers that I've won something from UK and it will be delivered by a certain security company and all such. If you check on those emails, there's a certain zipped file. You're told, download your code that you'll use to receive your gift. if you make a mistake of clicking that zipped file, thinking it's a code sent to you, maybe they're saying maybe you've won maybe $1 million because you participated in something you didn't participate. If you download that, it will just it will run on your phone or your laptop as a program.
Yes.
And immediately within seconds it will have fetched all your data in the computer, all the key data, because it's a program designed to collect all the email addresses saved on your desktop, saved on your social media platforms. If you run, if the program will be running when you're browsing your social media platforms, so it will collect all that data and send to the person who will send that email. So it's always good to be watchful, to know what you're clicking on your emails, and also these are one of the best ways to if you have a website. When you're on your contact page, make sure that your email address, it's not just a usual email address. There are people who, when they're mining data, they just mine all the email addresses starting with info at.
I see now.
You see?
Yes.
So you've created a website today, and tomorrow you're getting lots of emails. You wonder why. You see, someone is busy mining email addresses which are starting with info at, because each and every company, like in Kenya, they have that info at.
Info at, isn't it?
Info at. So we can come up with something like mail at.
I see.
You see?
I see now.
Or maybe if it's Metro, MTV at. You see, like the main company email address. So if you put it on your website, now people will be, if they want to contact you, they'll just go to your website and see the right email to use.
Yes.
Now the rest for info, you leave it to the scammers, and they want to get you actually.
Yes. So I want us to come down therefore to mobile phones, because we cannot actually avoid our mobile phones. They're actually the biggest ones when it comes to talking to clients, also doing end-to-end businesses. They're quite efficient, they're quite fast. There is this point where, I mean, for you to use maybe an Android phone or an iOS phone, the first thing that you do is sign in too. So now your phone knows your accounts, it knows your passwords and all that. How do you become safe through a mobile phone? Now, because that's the biggest area that most people now have to really know about, especially for personal brands and businesses. Do you expose yourself more when you're on a mobile phone as opposed to when you're on your computer, which we'll say is probably will be protected by probably the company introducing firewalls in the internet?
Okay, the number of mobile users, internet users in the country, it's ever growing.
Yes.
And now the hackers are using that to be able to target key people. Now, let me start with the social media platforms.
Yes.
I'll give an example with Twitter. Like 3 weeks ago, Twitter wants all Android users, Twitter for Android users, not to update their application. Reason, because if you update it, you'll be a target to a certain threat. You see, so it's always good to be checking on your privacy updates by by the social media platforms, the major social media platforms that you use. If it's Facebook, if it's Twitter, follow them on Facebook and on Twitter to see what they update on day-to-day basis. Because if there's a certain threat, they always update. Especially Twitter, they always update at support. Their Twitter account, they always update. So be on the lookout that what they are updating on a daily basis. They at times tell you not to update, they at times tell you to update. And the best thing is to always update your applications, because now I don't know why Twitter say that you should not update, because updating means downloading security updates.
Security patch, isn't it the latest one?
Exactly. So that you can be secure online. The other thing is that you should have an antivirus on your smartphone.
That's another area as well. How do you know which one to use, man? I mean, you're online, you're at your mobile store, and then bam, if you search antivirus, you have a lot of them. Some of them have been also spammed for being the worst, because as opposed to them being antiviruses, they turn out into something different.
The best thing is to do is to go online, Google a certain antivirus, go through the reviews. What are people saying? Are there some websites that have reviewed this antivirus? See what they are saying. If it's more, maybe 50% it's negative, avoid it. And some of the best antiviruses are Kaspersky. Yet it is so expensive,
Yes.
but it's one of the best.
Yes.
You see, so the best thing I would tell the viewers is to check online, go through the reviews. Most of us don't go to check on the reviews of a certain product before we buy it.
Yes.
You might download a software thinking it's an antivirus, thinking it's a right antivirus. It does what it says, yet it is a virus itself.
It's a virus
claiming
itself
to be
that is
an
actually,
antivirus.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's coming to attack your data.
Yeah.
So now, Daniel, from where you sit this morning, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you've seen companies do and brands do when it comes to being safe on social media platforms? Yes.
One thing is having staff who are not well equipped, well trained with the latest trends in security,
Yes.
especially for brands online. Because if you're having an IT person, or maybe you bring someone on board, maybe they've not done IT, they're just good in maybe social media management,
Yes.
but they don't have the basic knowledge of how to stay safe. They don't take time to go through the updates on the blogs, because Twitter has a blog, Facebook has its own blog, Instagram has its own blog, and they're ever updating. Someone who doesn't go online to see what's the latest security updates, the best practices. For example, Twitter is over changing their policies. If you overtweet and surpass a certain limit, you are blocked, or maybe you get suspended on Twitter. You see, so it's always good to have staff who are always well equipped, well informed, and always to have those meetings you're able to sit down and to review each and every platform. Take it serious. It may not be, it just may seem like a platform, but as long as you're there, you need to know the latest security updates, the latest policies, because there's a certain media in the country whereby they went on to change their Twitter account username, and within seconds they lost their blue mark. I mean the verification badge.
Because they actually didn't change it.
Yeah,
Isn't it? They changed it, and then immediately, because now you're somebody else.
They changed it,
yes.
But if they had the knowledge that you could write to Twitter to retain, yes, you're changing, but for them to retain your check mark. Because if you're verified and you change your username, you lose the verification badge.
Which is a big loss, man.
Yeah. Yes. So it's always to have those meetings to consult, to discuss amongst yourself, to see what's the latest, what do you need to do as a company to stay safe online, what images are you using, because if you use a copyrighted image on social media platforms, at times you get suspended. You don't just download an image from the internet and use it on maybe you're reporting your business news. You download a photo of a certain CEO and you put a caption. You've not given credits. You see, so it's a copyrighted. Someone can come and claim that copyrighted image and your social media accounts get suspended. Yet it's a media house or maybe a big business social media platform.
And those are the things that really people need to understand deeply before even trying to put their information out there on social media. Which therefore takes me to my next question, therefore. I mean, we're talking about identity. Is there a way you can hide your identity and activity online? Because that's the biggest question for every person outside there now. Like, yes, I'm on social media, I'm there with a lot of people, but is there a way can I hide my identity online? Yes.
One thing I'd love to add to the viewers is that make sure you know the person you're adding on your social media platform, especially Facebook.
Yes.
Because people tend to post more photos on Facebook and Instagram than on Twitter.
Yes.
So if you're posting your daily, maybe you're taking coffee at a certain Java in Westlands, you post a photo, your location is on, you're in Westlands. You see, the next day, so every Friday you're posting a new photo. Thank God it's Friday and you've turned on your location. People will be able to see where you are. So they'll see you always frequent this place or you either work at this place.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So if they want to do anything about with you, if they want to target you, they'll be able, they know where to find you.
Pretty much know. They'll know Daniel just hangs out at this joint every Wednesday at around this time, guys.
Exactly.
You're going to meet him there.
Exactly. If they want to rob you, maybe you're maybe a manager or maybe you're a salesperson of a certain company, and they've been hungered by that company. Or maybe you're having an issue with a certain person. So they've been stalking you. using maybe someone send your friend request. It's a photo with a profile of a nice lady, and the profile they've written, they work for a certain company. So if you go through their profile, it seems like they are legit because they work at a certain company. It's a nice photo,
yes,
and all that. But now you don't know, maybe this is your friend of someone whom you rub shoulders with, and they've been tracking you. They've sent you a friend request using a pseudo account to track you, to know where, and they will take time, maybe a month or two, tracking what do you post, where do you post from, where are you working currently, because you didn't tell people where you work, you don't post. Where are you working currently? Who always comments on your posts?
I see. I see.
They'll send a friend request to the person who comments mostly on your profile because they think this person knows you.
Wasn't it? And
then they
just like that,
chat.
they're already in your life as well, isn't it?
Exactly.
So the things that really people need to understand as well.
Yeah.
So therefore, Daniel, as we cap this conversation therefore this morning, what are some of the major cases you as a social media consultant you've dealt with? What do you think is the knowledge gap that therefore you're trying to fill when it comes to being safe online when you're talking about social media?
I think the gap that's there is that each and every staff nowadays, you know, like every professional,
yes,
they are on social media platforms. Yes. Each and every staff, maybe the major companies, they are on social media platforms.
Yes.
It's always good because they represent, they are ambassadors to the company they work for. It's good to train them on the safety measures to stay safe. Because if I see you, if I'm your friend on Facebook, I know you work for Metro TV. If you post something nasty, or maybe you make a nasty comment, or maybe you have a tendency of posting certain things which are not in line with your company, then I'll start to degrade your company. You see, if it's an online shop, I start thinking, no, I don't trust this company because of so and so.
Yes.
So it's always good to, I think there's need to train the staff on the best practices, how to stay safe, because the accounts can be hacked, and the person who hacked posts something bad about your company, exposes your company or your plans of your company, and now the boss will think this is the person, this is one of my staff who posted this. Yes, yet it was hacked. It was an account that was hacked, and the information was spilled out.
Yes.
So it's good to train the staff on best practices to stay safe online, and the latest and the legit softwares to use while you're maybe running your business programs.
Pretty much, isn't it? And for you, from your standpoint, that is what needs to be filled, isn't it?
Exactly.
All right, pretty much. Daniel, how can guys get you if they want to talk about being social media safe?
You can find me on Twitter at Daniel Maithya KE. I usually post social media tips on the platform. On Facebook it's Daniel Maithya, a Facebook page. Instagram is Daniel Maithya KE.
Pretty much.
And my website is danielmaithya.co.ke.
danielmaithya.co.ke. You want to learn about being safe online, then you do know the right person to go to. And if you want to get in touch with him, then you can be right sure that if you shoot us a text on 2146, your brand, you want to safeguard your identity online, you want to be safe, then you do know exactly what to do. Those parts was, man, those locations, now you do know exactly what they mean. Pretty much. All right, that's exactly what we had prepared for you this morning on a Business AM. But not to worry, because you can actually catch what looks like a rerun of this conversation on YouTube. You can actually just take us a couple of minutes back and start listening to Daniel again, telling you exactly how to be safe online. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiaget. This has been yet another edition of Business AM. I'll be back at exactly 11, 12, and 1 for Metropole News. Good morning.